All right, now let's get an update. We're now joined by Eastern Cape Community Safety MEC, Weziwe Tikana Xotiwe. She joins us now via Zoom. MEC, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, you visited the scene and you've also spoken to the tavern owner, I believe. Talk to us about that conversation. What led to the deaths of these children? Why was his establishment still open at around 4 a.m.?
Good afternoon, Unati and the viewers. Indeed, I've had engagements with the owners of the tavern, because it's a husband and a wife. As much as although the license is under the wife's name, the husband is the manager. I made to believe they are very much apologetic. They sent their message of condolences to the families, but the law will take it course, as they've agreed with that, which is not something which cannot be done in this scenario, under this scenario. One, currently we cannot confirm of what really happened until we receive the results, which the investigation is underway. They promised that they will finish working from the site or from the area where the incident takes place today. Then it would mean they will refer whatever to the lab. Then they'll be able to come up with the report. We'll be expecting the lab results after 2 days from today, but we'll update the community and the society of what really transpired. We are taking away anything which is related to Stampede, but we said investigation need to be done. The tavern was opened up to at that time because the bylaws permit it to continue trading up to 4 a.m. in the morning. The incident might have happened between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., but the police were informed about 4 a.m. in the morning.
MEC, you're raising something very interesting, because we understand those bylaws actually indicate it should be closed by 2 a.m. and that actually it was around about 4 a.m. that those incidences started happening, which is why then, you know, they raised the alarm. But talk to me about this couple that owns this tavern. Our understanding initially was that the one owner was not there at the time. So both owners were not there at the time?
They are claiming that they were not there at the time. They were informed at 1 a.m. Then they go there and see what had really happened, which they say they cannot explain of what really had taken place. When I'm talking on the issue, the license conditions are talking of 2 a.m., but the bylaws are talking at 4 a.m., which in this case, the bylaws supersedes what is entailed within the license conditions. We've had engagements with the authorities of the municipalities, and we've since agreed that they must rescind their bylaws. Any bylaws must talk on what is within the license conditions.
You know, the South African Council of Churches raises a few questions which are pretty much relevant, and one of them is obviously over the issuing of the initial structural plans of that establishment by the Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality. I mean, if you look at that establishment yourself, you visited it, what can you say about just the, in terms of the plans that are there, that exist? I mean, were they within legal confines? I mean, we understand there was only one door leading into the club and also used as an entrance and an exit point. I mean, we're hearing reports of young children climbing out of windows trying to escape whatever it was that was sprayed inside the establishment at the time. What does this say about the approval of taverns and shebeens in very close proximities with communities?
You remember what is the processes towards the approval of any license is community engagement by the ward councillor. There's a proof of a register of community members who were in support of the application, and hence the license was approved. I've personally since saw the list of people who signed and in support of that tavern. But the only thing which we've identified is the issue of the entrance. But the initial plan, which was approved, there were 2 doors there, exit doors, and there were ablution facilities. But there's an upgrade, which all of us we believe that was done without consultation or approval of the municipality and was never supported to the liquor board. That's the upgrade which led to 1 entrance and exit, which is lead to non-compliance of that tavern. Hence, there's temporal closure and a case will be opened, but we are waiting for the verification of ages from lab enforcement officers because they have to certify the ages as much as they've communicated the ages. Then a court a case will be registered against the owner of the tavern. The non-compliance in this instance is the age limit. Those deceased are under the age of 17. The eldest is 17, as per the report we received yesterday, and the youngest is 13 years.
Now, we've heard so many people blaming parents, so many people blaming the tavern owners, so many people blaming, the liquor board. As government, especially with your role as community MEC, I mean, how seriously are you taking this crisis, this alcohol crisis that this country is facing? We understand by the aware.org, 50% of teenagers in this country consume alcohol, some as young as 10 years old. I'm sure that these stats are something that you are familiar with. Have you done enough as government to have prevented such a tragedy?
In my view, we've done enough. Immediately when the parents could not control their children, it will lead to this tragedy because the first person to mentor his or her child are parents. That's an issue. Whenever a parent would sleep without her children or his children around or within his household, that leads us to a problem. The second issue is that we just had in 2 weeks' time, we had engagement with stakeholders, and we've identified liquor outlets as the risk cause of the high crime rate in the province. And we've developed a plan. We are going towards the transition for the implementation of the reviewed legislation on liquor licenses. There's a process. So whoever is going to go and renew his or her license will undergo the new license conditions. We are having some decisions with the liquor board, and we've, as liquor inspectors, to enable them, even if they are there, the law enforcement officers will be able to do the work. But it's an eye-opener to us and the community members, but we have to educate communities before they endorse or they take any decision in support of any application.
I mean, I hear you talking about the implementation of the liquor license and also that this incident is a learning curve, particularly for government. What is the first thing that you will then, as the MEC of Community Safety, institute from your end to make sure that this event serves as a catalyst and that it never happens again? It never happens again that 21 children as young as 13 are killed in an establishment with close proximity to community members, where somebody should have raised the alarm way before 4 a.m.
It has been our concern as government, and we are having an operation, which is an operation Sesikona, which is an integration of multidisciplinary team of law enforcement affairs officers, officers from Home Affairs, and the liquor board inspectors, which liquor inspectors which are there, which are continuing with it. It means it does not leave us cases against all people who are non-complying with the liquor license. And also we are having a responsibility now to do e-education to community members that they must support, because as much as they are claiming that they've been reporting to police, there's no one who is has registered any complaint with Liquor Board or with police officers, and they cannot come out with any evidence they've reported. But as I've indicated, it means we have to have more campaigns educating community members, but requesting community members to join us, society leaders, leaders, church leaders, traditional leaders, and every citizen, NGOs, to be able to educate our communities on how best they can behave. We cannot tolerate the non-compliance with the Act.
All right, MEC, that's where we have to leave it. I'm afraid your sound quality is also not coming out great there. But thank you so much for your time, MEC. We appreciate it this afternoon. That's Community Safety MEC in the Eastern Cape, Weziwe Tikana Xotiwe.